Peter Obi used to be chairman of a bank, had majority shares. Now he has about 10% shares in that bank. That bank, I'm not going to mention the name of the bank because I respect them and I don't want them to think that I'm going after them. But last year, the bank declared profit of 124.3 billion naira. This year, and they just released their figures about a month ago, they declared profit of 385.4 billion naira. So their profit has increased by more than three, by a multiple of times three, more than that. So I'm going to ask you a question now. If Peter Obi is saying that the economy is not growing, the president is not handling the economy very well, how come his own bank, where he has 10% shares, has increased in profitability by over three times? That's 300%, over 300%. It is not possible. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has exceeded the expectations of most reasonable Nigerians. And this man came in, Nigeria was the #1 petrol importer in Africa. Right now, we are not. South Africa has now overtaken us. We are now instead the #1 petrol exporter in West Africa. So anybody saying that this man has not done well is just being political, and they are.
That was Reno Omokri, one of the chief propagandists of President Bola Tinubu administration, trying to justify that the economy is growing under President Bola Tinubu. And of course, he has to use Peter Obi to give an example that the economy under President Bola Tinubu is growing. Since Peter Obi is his primary assignment, he must drag Peter Obi into his evidence to show that Tinubu is working, that Tinubu's economy is growing. But that's all propaganda. That's not the reality about Tinubu's management of Nigeria's economy, as we'll show in this video. You listen to him, Reno Omokri, claiming, so that's what the government is doing. They are following Peter Obi bumper to bumper to know how much his investments in any bank. Reno Omokri is claiming there that a bank that Peter Obi used to hold majority share, where he used to be chairman, that in that bank he's no longer the chairman. He's now holding only 10% of the shares, and he's telling us about the profit they declared last year and what they declared now, claiming that the profitability of the bank has increased, that the profitability of the bank has increased by 300%. I didn't bother to go and do the math about this to know what it was, whether it's up to 300%, knowing the depreciation of the Nigerian naira year after year since President Bola Tinubu emerged. So a company that made a profit of 123 billion last year and made 385 billion this year, if you look at it in real terms, nothing really changed, because the value of the naira continued to depreciate under the so-called reforms of President Bola Tinubu. But that's beside the point. Now, Peter Obi himself is an investor, has been a businessman all his life. Peter Obi is among the 1% of Nigerians who are extremely wealthy. If the economy is growing, that is not the people you use to make an example. You don't look at Dangote, you don't look at Peter Obi, you don't look at people in that category and use them to measure whether the economy is growing. Because those people are already in a position where they are not impacted directly by some of the policies of the government. So it was an exhibition of naivety for Reno Omokri to use Peter Obi, to be able to use him to assess Tinubu's government performance. Of course, Peter Obi was right from what he said, that Peter Obi cannot say the economy is not growing, because Peter Obi has said that the economy is not growing because the right things are not being done. He said that Peter Obi cannot say that the economy is not growing when he is making his bank, quote and unquote. Nobody can confirm whether Peter Obi owned any bank or owned that share or not. That was how they were after Fidelity Bank, thinking that Peter Obi owns Fidelity Bank. Only God knows the bank Reno Omokri was talking about, that they discovered that Peter Obi owned 10% share there now. Okay? So for you to know whether economy of Nigeria is growing, you have to look at the indices that determines growth. What are the characteristics or what are the features of a growing economy? So you have to look at that and find out whether Bola Tinubu is doing the needful to warrant even talking about the growth of the economy. Like Peter Obi, he was citing, he said that Peter Obi cannot say that the economy is not growing because his alleged bank is growing in profitability. But the economic indices that is used to measure a growing economy, they are well spelled out. Okay? One is that if our economy is growing, if Nigeria's economy is growing, we will have an increasing gross domestic product. Our GDP will be increasing. We have a high GDP. But you listen to Dr. Adesina, the former president of African Development Bank. He looked at the GDP under Tinubu. He said that the GDP under Tinubu is far lower than the GDP of Nigeria in 1960. That was a negative on the Tinubu's administration. So that cancelled the idea of a growing economy. What Adesina said. And at his position, he should be able to know what a growing economy is. He said our GDP in 1960 is far better than what we have now under Tinubu. So that means that the economy is not growing. Peter Obi was right. The economy is not growing. It's not about his personal investment in bank. That's not the issue. You have to use the correct indices to be able to do your analysis. So that's where Reno Omokri, in his propaganda, failed to take note of. Now, for a growing economy, if Nigeria's economy is growing, you are going to get rising employment level. It means that more people are getting jobs. Jobs are available to the level that people are even selecting the best job for themselves. They are looking, the jobs are available. People are picking and choosing. The other day, I was, currently I'm reading the book, The Biafran History, by Professor Chinua Achebe. There is a country. What did this? There was a country. There was a country. I'm reading that book particularly now, and the title really want to escape from my memory. There was a country. When I was reading Chinua Achebe, there was a country. It's a book. I'm rereading it again now. I got to a place where Achebe was talking about the fact that when he graduated and they wanted to take him into the Nigeria Broadcasting Service, They invited him. The Europeans were the people in charge of Nigeria. They told him that they want to interview him for the job, to be in that, to work with Nigerian Broadcasting Commission or something like that. They asked Achebe whether he should come to Enugu or they should come to Ogidi, his hometown, to come and interview him. Can you beat that? Achebe told them that they should come to Ogidi, his hometown, to come and interview him. That's the level, you know, that the state of where people have choice about job. Of course, it may not be exactly like the situation of Achebe at the time. Maybe not many people were as educated as we have now. But at least for you, one of the criteria of knowing a growing economy is that there is rising employment level. But what do we have in Nigeria? We are having rising unemployment. Unemployment is as over 40% right now in Nigeria under President Bola Tinubu. And another thing that will show you that the economy is growing is that people are spending more, people are consuming more because they have jobs. Are you getting it? But when people don't have jobs like we don't have in Nigeria now, consumption spending has gone very low. So how can you say that the economy is growing? Is there anybody who said that the economy is not growing under Tinubu is playing politics? How? Unemployment level is over 40%. And for you to have a growing economy, another criteria is that you must have increased business investment. People are investing. How many are investing in Nigeria? Since Bola Tinubu became president, over 20 multinational companies have left this country. Now, many of them top pharmaceutical companies that used to produce here in Nigeria drugs for hypertension, diabetes, and all. They have left this country. That is why the cost of this treatment of hypertension, diabetes, and all those drugs, they have ballooned to the skies. No investments. All the claim of investment, they are a ruse. It doesn't exist anywhere. So how can you say the economy is growing when people, multinational companies are running away from Nigeria? And if you say that the economy is growing, it means that there is a rising level of income level. People are getting income. Look at labor is still struggling to get welfare. People are still struggling. Is there any wage growth in Nigeria to determine that the economy is growing? No. Many states are struggling. The federal government under Tinubu, they are struggling in payment of salary. How can you say that such an economy is growing? And of course, one of the evidence of a growing economy is that there is moderate inflation. But now food inflation is at over 40%. There is instability in the dollar and naira rate. So that kind of lack of stability, they are all indices of a stagnating economy. So you can't say that the economy of Nigeria is growing when the inflation is really hitting the roofs, when food inflation is at over 40%. Even the lending rate is as over staggering 30% by banks, from commercial banks. What are we talking about? And then for economy to be said to be growing, it means there is improvement in infrastructure and technology. Is that what we are having in Nigeria under Tinubu? No way. And then another indices of a growing economy is increased exports. Have we increased exports in Nigeria? No way. So all these things combine together to show that the economy under Tinubu is not growing. The economy is in doldrums. And Reno Omokri told a lot of lies there too. There are too many lies in that small clip you saw. He even claimed that Nigeria is now, he was giving credit to Tinubu that because of Tinubu, Nigeria is now the #1 exporter of oil from West Africa, a #1 oil exporter. But that is a propaganda from the pit of hell. If you go and check the record, right from 2019, even before 2015, 2014, all these years, Nigeria has been the #1 exporter of oil in Africa. But we Reno Omokri to show propaganda. He has to say that under Tinubu, Nigeria has moved from being a net importer to a net exporter. Now the highest in West Africa. Nigeria is the highest, had been the highest for so many years in Africa. It was only once in a while that Angola will beat us to it. So what is he talking about? But it's all part of the propaganda to give the impression that Tinubu has broken new ground. He has made Nigeria #1 exporter of oil from West Africa. Whereas record shows that we have been #1, the whole of Africa. Once in a while, Angola will beat us to it. When they were beating us to it was as a result of instability in the Niger Delta region. Okay? And these are the kind of propaganda they spread. That was how Reno Omokri was sending the propaganda that Tinubu has cleared all the IMF loan Nigeria was owing. But we were able to expose them. What Tinubu cleared was only the COVID-19 loan that IMF gave Nigeria, as he gave some other African countries, to be able to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. And they were given targets when to finish the payment, because if you don't finish it, you are not entitled for more loans. So Tinubu has to follow the payment schedule that had already started under Muhammadu Buhari and cleared it. Even as he cleared, the interest of over $800 million are yet to be paid. But the propaganda they spread was that Tinubu has set Nigeria free from IMF loans. And the way they coined it, you would think that this loan was the loan that was taken by perhaps Obasanjo, Yaradua, and Goodluck Jonathan. But it was just a loan that was taken by an APC government of Muhammadu Buhari, which they cleared, following the timeline given for the repayment. So these people are just full of propaganda, and Nigerians shouldn't buy into all this propaganda. I don't know what to think about Reno Omokri's evidence to show that Tinubu's economy is growing, using Peter Obi's alleged ownership of 10% in a bank to show that Tinubu is working, he's growing the economy. Based on what you now learn from me, what constitutes the criteria, the characteristics of a growing economy, can you now say that the economy is growing under Tinubu or that it is stagnating? Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.